Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting into? We are getting into Love is Blind Habibi. We are now on episode 3 and this is called Surprise Surprise. Let's just put it this way. Khatab and Asma are going to meet. Okay, remember when I already told you from the last episode that Asma will not like the look of Khatab, but hey ho, she went with money. Remember that? Remember I said she went with money? Okay. Anyway, before we get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Don't you know it, my people? Anyway, so Asma goes to meet Khatab. Asma is saying we will truly see if love is blind. It won't be for you, my love. Let's just put it that way. It won't be for Asma at all. I'm telling you, this girl is shallow as hell. She likes to come across as something else, but I'm telling you, she's definitely shallow. So you see Khatab saying that he's made the right decision in picking Asma, and I'm thinking, my dude, I don't think this woman is going to accept you after she's seen you, but hey ho, we'll see what happens. Okay, so the doors go back and it literally was like, kind of like she was stuck. Like seriously, I thought she was a statue for a minute, and then he starts moving and then she moves. I was waiting for Khatab's reaction, and he did. He gave the reaction, he smiled and he hugged her. But from her, she weren't really giving nothing back. This girl got fit of the rotty giggles. Asma's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but I think she's still kind of superficial. This girl got the giggles like no one's business, like she really didn't know what to say. She really could not speak. She's basically saying that she's surprised, but she ain't saying what, why. And I'm like, you need to tell Khatab what you're surprised at, my love, because I think we all know. I think we all definitely know. So Khatab is making jokes about his suit not fitting that morning, and I thought, Khatab, you're not helping. Not helping the situation, because that's just making her more get the ick with you, and you can see that this girl don't like this man, but Khatab is not seeing it at all. He's just excited by the gorgeousness that hit his face in Asma. Anyway, she basically says she does say that she's happy. She says that she's happy, but she weren't, because she was expecting something else. She ain't happy at all. She really ain't. I know she probably had a bag of nerves and everything like that, but when you like someone, you like someone. And from some of the meets that have been showing, they've been top notch in terms of how they've been with each other. But as soon as Asma saw Khatab, that was it. She fitted giggles. Oh my god. But yet she's so happy. She lie. Anyway, so they end up going back to their places. They are not a good match at all. Let's just put it this way. They are on two different pages fully. Asma, I believe, is honestly disappointed by her pick. Poor Khatab is happy, and Asma is basically not sure at all. So you go back to the pods, and Shafiq and his womanizing ways is all I'm gonna say. So he has a connection with two girls, but then in the next breath says the door is open to everyone else. And I was just like, how, Shafiq? How? Please enlighten us on how you have a connection with two women, but yet you're still leaving the door open to play the damn field. This boy has been, he's lost in the wind, this boy is. He's literally jumping from here, there and everywhere. I don't even think he's sure he knows what he wants at this point in time. So Shafiq and Noor have a date, and she's giving him a book. And it had the quote, I think the favourite in your eyes will be the most beautiful in your life. So Noor gave him this book because she wanted to express to him, look, I'm showing you my interest. What is it you want from me? Because I literally want it from you, basically. I want you to be picking me in terms of our connection going forward. Shafiq was in his element. He was in his element, so he's basically saying to her that he loves the small attention. He says to Noor that she is his top one, but the door is still open. I says, nah, that ain't it, Shafiq. Like, seriously, that ain't it. I mean, the door is slowly shutting, and Shafiq needs to stop playing these games with these women for real, because when they talk, and it will all hit the fan on him. So he's basically said to Noor that he doesn't cheat when Noor asked him, and he says, but then says that he has his own limit. And I thought, whatever the fuck that means. In one breath, he's saying you don't cheat, and then in the next breath, saying you have your own limit. So, do you partially cheat? What do you do? Anyway, so he continues with, if I have a girlfriend, I would never put myself before her. I don't get that with Shafiq, to be honest with you. I get that Shafiq is kind of like a kid in the playground. He's quite childish, quite immature, and anything will take his eye, to be honest with you. That's what I think it is. So basically the red flags are starting to come with me with Shafiq. I can't tell a lie. He doesn't make sense to me because he's not clear on his intentions. He's not clear at all. So Noor is taken in by what he says, and basically she's talking about that, you know, she loves Shafiq's different level of respect. And I'm just like, but what respect? Because at the end of the day, he ain't respected you enough to make a decision with any of the other women, including yourself. He also turned around and said you're his top one, but yet wants to tell you in the same breath that his door is open for other women too. That's not a level of respect in my mind. That's something else that comes to mind, but it's not a level of respect. Let's put it that way. He's basically saying that if he was around people and he was with his girlfriend and they were talking about something his woman didn't like or was insecure about, he would step in, which is standard, which is what you expect your couple to do anyway. It's what you expect any man or woman or whoever to do anyway when you're with someone. So that's just standard chat to me. So that doesn't make him anything special. So Noor basically said that people don't see that she is soft at times, and then she ends up sharing things with Shafiq that she doesn't really share with others, and it began to make her cry. And Shafiq is there going, oh no, I don't want to hear you cry. And she said she's sensitive about her family. So I'm thinking, okay, she's going to give us a big old fantastic sub story. No. She said her and her sister used to take water and food in the car, and that made her miss her sister. Get it? I know it's good when you are family orientated and you're close to certain family members, yeah, especially your immediate family. And I understand that being in there, she would miss her sister and miss a routine that they probably both have. But to make it try and be all over encompasses sensitive as how Noor was trying to play, it was just it was too grandiose for me at the end of the day. I mean, Gia was crying with no tears coming from her eyes, so that was a mean feat. All I'm gonna say is that date was confusing as hell. I don't even know where the frick them two are going, to be honest with you. So Shafiq went back into the men's room with the book, and of course Simo's another red card for me. I like Simo, I really don't. Yeah. So Simo took the book, sniffed it, and had something to say, of course. Basically, he said the perfume was not nice. And Shafiq was trying to explain to him it's not about the damn perfume, it's about the gesture that it was given in at the end of the day. So Simo is really trying to judge Noor by the perfume that she sprayed on his book. I'm just glad that Shafiq wasn't taken by the bullshit of Simo, to be honest with you. And he did call Simo jealous. And I thought, good on ya. Shafiq won't letting Simo think that he's a pushover in terms of trying to exert his control and how he feels about the gift that was given to him. I mean, this man sat there after Hajar stole a damn rose from the last woman he had a date with, yeah, put her perfume on it, and then has the audacity to process Shafiq's gift when his gift was freaking regurgitated or recycled, should I say. So Simo has no space to talk at all. So Shafiq goes on a date with Hajar. So basically he is on high level energy from the date that he just had with Noor. So now he's literally not necessarily up in the clouds, but this man has got surplus amounts of energies right now. So Shafiq is saying he would not ask his wife to pay 1 dirham, and if she wants to work, he can, and if not, she can stay at home. Hajar, of course, did the jig because this is what some women want to hear at the end of the day. And I think especially within this culture as well, that it's bred into them that the men are to rule home and hearth, basically, are to be the breadwinners. They're supposed to keep you in the lifestyle that you expressly want and need, basically. So him saying that is a non-gamer, to be honest with you, because I think it's standard for what the expectation is for men over there. All I would say with Shafiq, the proof is in the pudding when he hits the outside world, because he can chat a good game in here, but what is he like when he's actually outside in the real world and having now to spend the money, to put his money where his mouth is, in terms of what he said in the pod. So Hajar, of course, is arrogant and says she likes a charismatic man. No, you like an arrogant man, Hajar. Hajar basically said that she likes attention and a lot of it. And for me, I get the impression that Hajar likes and needs to be better than. That's what it is. She sees herself elevated more so than the others. So Shafiq has Noor and Hajar. He's also got Dunya. And I'm just saying, this man is playing one dangerous guy, because my thing is he should pick Dunya. That's all I'm saying. He should pick Dunya because he gets on better with her than he does with any of the other girls, to be honest with you. And he had formed a connection with Dunya from the get-go. He's had to literally work by doing a lot more serial dating within these pods in order to get to where he is right now with Hajar and Noor. With Dunya, he didn't have to do that. It was there from the get-go. So Shafiq does have a date with Dunya. And he asks her, if his business got shut down, how will she support him? So Dunya straight away says, I don't mind, we will support each other. And I thought, that's what I mean. It's a team effort. Why should it be, how will Dunya support you? At the end of the day, it's a team effort. Even if you didn't have no work or your business got shut down, you'd both find a way to rework what's happened, would you not? So tell me why Shafiq then goes on to say, if his wife wants to work, she can work, but for him, the man must provide. This man is just playing with all the words. These women don't realise what he's saying to each of them, and it will come back to bite him in the arse. I'm just intrigued as to see how that will happen, basically, and what his end game will be. So Dunya talked about her social media presence, and Shafiq said that he didn't mind being on a social media. And I thought, of course he don't mind. The more airtime this man gets, the better. He's on a little power-hungry trip right now with the amount of airtime he's getting currently, and he's enjoying himself. So Dunya believes that she's showing her personality 100%, but it appears to Shafiq he's not getting the energy he wants from Dunya in regards to her emotional side. And I'm just like, well, she ain't gonna cry out of nowhere, to be honest with you. And if she really wants to open up and be safe with you, then she has to be comfortable with Shafiq at the end of the day. And I don't think that Shafiq is presenting too much of a safe side or a safe space that is required for her to be able to be that comfortable with him right now. She's literally just getting to know him at the end of the day. So Dunya feels that she has a connection with Shafiq, and basically tells Shafiq that she's never felt that vibe before, and she feels Shafiq is genuine. I don't think he is, but hey ho, there you go. This is the impression that Shafiq is giving these girls, but we'll see what happens as time goes on. So Dunya says that she hasn't put herself out there with him, as he gave off the vibe that he would like others also. So I said, ding, 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 there it is, people. No safe space for her to show him she likes him, in the hopes he will do the same, because Shafiq is too happily playing the damn field with people to end up choosing someone at the moment. So if Dunya had the withdrawal that he was going to choose, or was remotely interested in her in terms of locking off like all the other ones that he's seen and just see her, then she'll be more comfortable with him. So Shafiq turns around and basically declares to Dunya that it is her. He's basically said that from the get-go she's given a vibe to him that none of the other girls has given to him. But Shafiq likes to entertain women, so those women are going to have to go. You can't say something like this to that girl and still be trying to chat to Hajar and Noor. It don't work that way. So they basically do say to each other that they really do like each other. And to be honest with you, I really believe that Dunya does like Shafiq. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about him. I really ain't, because of his dallying ways. I'm just not sure about him. So we get to the next day, and Shafiq said, he's in the men's room, yeah. And this is what I said. These walls are hella freaking thin, that these people hear everything if they shout. Do you know what I mean? So Shafiq is lying on the chair in the men's beat, saying he began to think about Dunya. And he basically shouted out, "I love you, Dunya, Dunya, I love you," a few times out loud. The women heard him, like Dunya full on heard him, Hajar heard, Noor heard. Dunya, as of course, would be happily in her, you know, girly element. And she shouted back, "I love you too." And that's when Shafiq went, "Oh damn, they can hear us." I says, "Yeah, because you can't take that back now, because you know everybody else heard you declare your love for this woman." So he then turns around and shouts back to her, "Dunya, I love you." And I thought, okay, let's see what the fallout will be with Hajar and Noor, because let's just put it this way, Hajar is a spiteful woman. Noor probably not so much, but Hajar, yes. So I don't know if Hajar would then start to, like, you know, sow seeds of doubt onto Dunya while they're in there, because of the things that Shafiq has been saying to him. I wasn't too sure about Noor, because Shafiq had been saying certain things to her too. So Hajar just looked proper pissed off, and Noor just looked full on disappointed as well. And Dunya is celebrating, and I'm like, why not? Because she knows now that Shafiq cannot go back on those words, because he cannot embarrass her. Not like that. He really can't. So it's Hajar that's speaking, doing a voiceover, and basically thinking that Shafiq is a player. I did say that from the beginning. He's a bit of a player because he enjoyed this all too much. So she thinks Shafiq is a player and a liar. And basically Shafiq reeled them in. That's what he did. He reeled them in and talked his talk, knowing full well that he more than likely had feelings for Dunya, but still continued to see if he could form a connection with every other girl. But the problem with Shafiq is in doing that, you made those other women open up to you in a way that they thought they were going to get picked by you. So now it's going to come all tumbling down on his shoulders like a ton of rocks. So Hajar goes in to have a date with Shafiq straight away. She says good evening and good night, but yet she's still putting her drink down on the table about she's about to get comfortable. I'm like, so why say stuff like that? Because you're so angry with this man, sit down and chat to him, rather than saying stupidness, because you know you ain't taking yourself up to go leave the room at the end of the day. Because if you really were about that life, saying good evening and good night, you wouldn't even walk into the room. You would have just walked out, or you wouldn't have even bothered going in, to be honest with you. So basically Shafiq turned around and says that he knew he had a connection first and foremost with Dunya, but basically, I'm paraphrasing, was messing about too much, because he turned around and said full on lies to Noor, because he did say that Noor was his top choice, but he was still open to getting to know other women, which was a lie. He knew that Dunya was his top choice, but he didn't say that to Noor. So Hajar wants to say her honest truth and let him know that, you know, everyone and the Lord heard him shout, "I love you" to Dunya, basically. So Hajar said was that Shafiq doing what he did shows he's a player, and of course Shafiq is not going to take that. He's not going to take you coming through his character like that. So he basically said he took a risk. I says, no, my love, you was happy playing with 3 women's affections, and Shafiq made the mistake of thinking the walls were that thick that he thought out loud. Now he has no choice but to choose Dunya in all of this. So even after all that, Hajar was confusing the hell out of me, because then she turns to Shafiq and says, so is your decision made or not? And I thought, well, with that declaration, he better damn well have made his decision, my love, because he confirmed that it's over for you, and Dunya is his girl by shouting "I love you" so many times that you all heard it. So how you can ask him, is your decision made or not, is beyond me. So at the end of the day, this dude, I ain't defending him in fullies, because he was not coming off all sunshine and light for me right now. Definitely not. I just hope he doesn't mess Dunya about as he did Hajar and Noor. So Hajar left. because basically there's nothing more that she could say, to be fair. I mean, all that chat about it's clear to me and my decision is made. Hajar, hate to break it to you, you had no choice but to say that to Shafiq, because his decision took everything you wanted out of your hands. So Shafiq then enters another room and Noor walks in. And you can see that Shafiq has put the book that Noor gave to him back on her side. So it's a sign to tell her, I've made my choice, but I cannot keep this gift that you've given me. I do feel for Noor because I believe that Shafiq did lead her on a merry dance, to be honest with you. Noor was so poised and she wished him the best of luck. She went rude, she went arrogant like Hajar, she went cussing him, this, that and the other. She went calling him out of his name. She was just very poised. She looked hella disappointed. She looked really upset. She looked really sad, which are valid for her because at the end of the day, Shafiq was the one that told her she was his top number one. So she was expecting to be able to speak to him more and be able to at least have a chance in terms of getting him to just focus on her. It's just a shame. It really is that these people play these types of games up in here. But what can you do? What can you do? Do you let a bunch of strangers set free on a dating show like this and they're gonna run riot at the end of the day? So I absolutely forgot about Mido. He's still in there dating. He says that it hurt when Asma rejected him, and I'm just like, it's kind of the name of the game with Diaz. So Mido decides, I think he's going to set his sights on Noor, so they do have a date. So they end up having a serious talk. So Mido tells Noor what it's like in the men's room, basically, and it's like they come in and say that these are their wives and that they have already have children in it, and he's saying it's not a game. Marriage is a responsibility. Mido is basically feeling butthurt, basically, from what he sees as Asma's rejection. So to be fair, he would have this outlook. Everything's going to be downcast. So this date was a little bit downcast for not just Mido, but for Noor as well, because she's just coming off the back of Shafiq letting her go, basically. My thing is I think they all know it's for marriage. But in essence, it's a competition, basically, as they want to stake a claim, as they put it, and want no one else to date that person, taking away the choice of the woman. But I think Mido would have been the same. He would have reacted the same if Asma had agreed to be with him, basically. But I do believe that Asma is going to regret her decision, but we shall watch this space, basically. So Noor wanted to see if Mido was on the same page as her. So Mido does tell Noor that he was married before when he was about 21. This honestly shocked Noor because she didn't know that Mido was married before. But it's kind of like Mido didn't care, as he kept going on about how he met a girl in Belgium, got divorced and they didn't have kids. I was like, the way in which he was talking to Noor was a bit off. It really was. It didn't seem nice to me or genuine. It was like he was punishing her for what happened to him. So I don't care how it comes across to you, is what he's saying. I'm just being direct. There's being direct and there's being direct. He was being direct, basically, to the point of rudeness, to be honest with you. So he was like so blasé when Noor asked what he felt from it. And he turned around and said it didn't matter to him because it didn't count. It matters to the woman you're about to marry that you were married before. Because the way in which Mido is behaving will show me how you're going to behave and respect a woman within marriage, because you literally just cast this woman to the side that you'd married when you was 21. At the end of the day, you must have felt more than enough for her to actually get married to her at the end of the day. If you had a bad breakup, albeit understandable, but then to turn around and say, oh, it don't matter because it don't count, that says it all really about Mido. It really does. So Noor just looked really downcast. I don't think she likes Mido, but he's her only choice right now. And as the one she wanted was Shafiq has now gone, she's going to put her eggs all in one basket with Mido to basically have someone ask her to marry him. I don't even think she's really on that same page with Mido, and I don't think Mido reciprocates with her in that sense. I don't think he has a level of care for her just yet in the way that he's speaking to her. Mido had the cheek to say that he felt Noor took his second marriage as seriously. Noor basically glossed over it and believed that he gave depth and this, that and the other. And I was like, no, I would have taken it seriously myself, because at the end of the day, you want to know, well, what happened that caused your marriage to dissolve. The way this man carried on so blasé about his marriage was like it didn't even freaking happen. It was Scotch Miss at the end of the day. Poof, be gone. Do you know what I mean? Like Puff the magic fucking dragon. Anyway, so Mido did not expect them to, he's saying, to get to this point. Feels that Noor is a decent person and not just an arrogant girl. I was like, dude, what? Noor's never showed any arrogance. And I was like, what was that? How did he get to that deduction that Noor was arrogant? Because she really wasn't. And now he's happy he kept Noor. I was like, what in the actual F was that, my people? What do you mean, now you are happy you have kept Noor? The hell? See what I mean? See what I mean in the way that some of these men think? No, man. So basically, Noor is talking all happy, but let's just put it this way. Her words did not suit her facial expressions at all. They didn't come on par. I think Noor wants to come out there with someone, even if it is Mido, and he was not her pick at all at the end of the day. So we see Shafiq all suited and booted, so we know what's going to happen. Dunya is a beautiful person, though, let's just put it that way. So he wrote something for Dunya. So he says he wrote it 2 days ago, but then continued to tell Noor what he said to her about her being his number one choice, but he wanted to date more women. So how can you write something heartfelt 2 days ago and then do that a couple of days after? That made no sense to me. Yeah, no trust for Shafiq at all, but Dunya is fully taken with him. So he reads his handwritten note that he erased so many times before he came up with the perfect words, he says. So at the end of all of that, he does ask her to marry him, and she said yes, of course. Come on, she was waiting on him. I mean, she feels he was speaking to her soul directly, and I was like, yeah, nope, not at all. He says for this year that Dunya is the best gift that God gave him, and he cannot wait to introduce her to his family. I was like, Shafiq definitely has a way with words, but I don't trust him one bit. Like, I'd have to see more of how he would behave with Dunya in his presence in the real world, because his whole behaviours ain't doing it for me in the slightest. So Dunya basically sees Shafiq as the child inside him is calling to the child inside her and waiting to connect. Nah. And this is what changed my view of Noor overall from the first go round. Is no matter what she went through with Shafiq, she still showed love to Dunya when Dunya came back in there in her happiness to let them know that she was an engaged woman. Did you see Hajar make her way over there and be happy and thrilled for Dunya? No. And that shows a lot about Hajar's character. So we get to the next day and you see Sima and Yasmin have a date. What can I say about Sima? He's just on a different level of rude, of arrogance, of just misogyny, of just chauvinism. He's everything rolled into one. He's just not a nice person at all, especially in the way that he treats women. He's absolutely disgusting. You see that Yasmin is very much definitely into him, and he's basically at the moment saying all the right things to her, but he says all the right things to Hajar as well at the end of the day. So Simo brings up her birthday, and I'm like, yeah, don't think we don't see you, Simo, because we know you know what Hajar did, and you've told Hajar who gave the flowers to Yasmin anyway. So Yasmin explained that all the girls were asking who the flowers were off, and she replied, nobody, that's top secret. And I thought, Yasmin, hate to break it to you, but Simo done told Hajar already, as he was and he was cute over it too when he told Hajar, to be honest with you. And I don't mean cute as in the good sense of the damn word either. So Simo did ask why Yasmin didn't tell the girls about him. As you know, sometimes men like to be front and centre and don't like to feel that they are being hidden. So Yasmin tells him it was out of respect to the girls that he was seeing, because she doesn't know who else is dating. Simo is an arrogant arse. he doesn't deserve Yasmin. He has the cheek to say to Yasmin, he point blank turns around onto Yasmin and says to her, "Are you dating other people?" And she went, "Well, yeah." Well, he goes, "Well, I don't feel special." And I'm like, because she's dating other guys when he's dating other girls, that's a double standard here, mate. Like, absolute double standard, because you know what this show is used for. You're literally going to be dating other people to see who you form a stronger connection to. Yasmin believes that she's formed this strong connection with this freaking dickhead, to be fair. But this freaking dickhead thinks he can chat to get women any which way he fucking wants to. So Simo in his VC says, we are in an experience talking about love, talking about future, so you should make that person feel special. I thought, dude, you need to shut all the way up with that rubbish. Cause what the was Simo talking about? Like, seriously, Simo is a dick and he should just continue to pick her jar and leave Yasmin out of his bullshit, because Yasmin is too special for him. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, Simo is going at Yasmin because she's dating others. He's literally tried to make Yasmin feel like shit, and basically it's like she's stuck in this room while he's literally blasting her with his words, unable to leave. So he's having a go at her, making her feel like their relationship is absolutely transactional. He didn't tell her nothing about her jar, bringing him one of his own roses with the perfume on it, and him turning to Hajar and saying that means that they are connected, but he wants blind loyalty from Yasmin. Yes, Simo can go climb up fuck tree and stay there, to be honest with you, because he's a dickhead. So he said that he isn't jealous, but he's what he wants is Yasmin not to do or see anything but him. He can't do the same though. So Yasmin tells him, if you want to feel special, be special. And I thought, yes, my girl, tell him again. Because Simo is into ick tendency with his behaviour with this woman. So Yasmin is standing up. And she tells him it's time for him to stand out. He gets up, walking to the door, shaking his head because he doesn't like what he hears. He doesn't like the fact that Yasmin is bringing him up about his behaviour and is not apologetic in the slightest, because she has nothing to apologize for. She isn't gonna go crawling at his feet to say, "Pete, don't do this, I'm sorry, don't," like Hajar did, and we'll get to that. And this shows me he is a man that likes to control and dominate the woman that he's with, basically. So he shoots back at Yasmin that it's been 30 minutes that they've been in this pod. And I'm like, does this man want this woman to literally bend over so he can walk all over her? So Yasmin asks back, why are you ruining it like this, Simo? So Simo really believes that he has been honest. And I'm like, no, Simo, what you're doing is throwing your toys out of the cup because you're not getting your own way. You're not able to exert your control in the manner that you're used to over the woman that you're talking to right now. You want a woman to cut all ties with everybody else, no longer date everybody else for you, but yet you won't do the same back in kind. That's bullshit in my books, I'm sorry. So Yasmin tells him that he's not honest at all. And she does get angry and swear at him and then leaves. So Yasmin does talk about that side of Simo is so toxic, and she's glad, she's basically glad that she got to see that, because from the beginning, my girl, this man has not been nice. And the words that he has been coming out of his mouth hasn't technically been nice. What he does is he tries to cover it up with niceness first before he then starts going in for the kill and seeing how placid the woman is. Yeah, Yasmin is not a placid woman at the end of the day, and Simo don't like it. So now Simo is after Hajar because he's literally like, you know, throwing Yasmin to the curb. That's his problem at the end of the day. So you see Mido now waiting for Noor, and basically he said Noor made him feel safe and she is his top one. And I'm just like, you've got no choice there, because the one you actually did want is gone. So Mido is so full of it when he says this is a big leverage for Noor and a privilege for Noor. And I'm like, what? So it's not a privilege you knowing her, it's a privilege that she gets to know you. Some of these guys, they think they're in a driving seat fully when it comes to these women. Like, seriously, they're starting to show their little bigotry little ways at the moment. it's untrue. The little misogynistic ways and the things that they say, it's awful. So he went all out for naught on this date. When she walked in the room, there were petals everywhere. There was a note, so Nor say she's cooked something for Mido. Mido didn't get the point, and I'm like, I didn't get the point either. What the hell did she cook for him? She pointed out it's a fruit plate. I'm like, no, did no one tell you that you don't cook a fruit plate, my love? You just literally wash the fruit and slice it up and put it on a plate. That's not cooking. My girl was really proud of herself. Really proud of herself. Said she cooked it herself. I was just like, wow. Wow. She says to me, though, you haven't seen my cooking skills yet. This is just a small sample. And I'm like, no, you can't cook. No, if you sat there and said you cooked a fruit plate, which involved no cooking, no heat, no nothing, just you slicing up cold fruit on a plate, you can't cook. So Mido basically got her a necklace. So that day ends there, and it moves on to Hajar going for her date with Simo. I was just like, at this point, Hajar's welcome to him, to be honest with you. So he pulled out all the stops, and he got her a heart-shaped balloon and a note that she read, she assumes will be his heartfelt words. I'm telling you, Simo is not to be trusted with any woman and their emotions. He is not a safe space for a woman up in that place or in his life. It's no wonder why he was Xing up and saying, oh, the women in the family, they get treated a certain way. I says, yeah, because they probably have to follow the fucking rules of the men in the household in order to be treated in terms of getting that car, in terms of getting that purse, in terms of getting whatever it is they want. They have to follow the rules of it. If they don't, then they probably don't get shit or get treated like shit. That's how I'm seeing it anyway. So it doesn't surprise me that Simo would go for Hajar, basically, because they're both alike and they're both better suited with each other. Both of them have a high opinion of themselves. So Hajar basically wants safety and is afraid to fall apart, as she has no backbone, no one beside her. I just don't feel it with either of them, to be honest with you. They both say the words that they need to say. So, but Hajar's only option is Simo, and Simo just toxically ended a situation with Yasmin, so his only option now is Hajar now again. So again, they're welcome to each other. Neither of them are nice in my opinion. All I hope is Simo gets some help for that controlling toxicity streak that he has going for him at the end of the day. So now they talk about what they would do for a bachelorette party. Bearing in mind, Simo said he wanted to go to Miami. What does he want to go to Miami for on his bachelor party? So he gets mad, not even a little mad. He gets mad at Hajar for saying she wished to eat a piece of cake before going on a diet. No, but he said it's not on his morals and principles. And I'm like, what? Can someone come and give this guy a glitter in his vision? Because what? I just don't know what's happening with this man. So Hajar asked him what would be yours, and he said, I'm sure it will not be that low level in terms of what Hajar just said about having a cake before going on the diet. I was just like, this man should end up by him damn self. Another thing, is the cake a euphemism for something else for them? Because I don't get why Simo is acting like a prized ass right now. Of course, Hajar is shocked by his words. I will say again, Simo is toxic. So Hajar thinks Simo roasted her. She found it quite hilarious, to be funny. And I thought, no, love. He's trying to exert his control over you. He's trying to box you into what he would fit in his vision of what a wife would look like for him. Hajar says, you shouldn't make judgments. So she apologized to him. He had the audacity to say, you have to be sorry for you first and then for yourself. I'm so lost. Because I don't know what Hajar seeking to eat cake, unless she was talking about having a last fling with a man or something. I don't see that. That's what I'm trying to understand. Is it a euphemism in terms of the cake, or does she mean to actually eat cake on her bachelorette party? Is so offensive. And I'm just like, someone please enlighten me, because I really don't know. I don't get it. So as Simo says that he says he's okay, but clearly he isn't. And Hajar, as much as I don't like her, does not deserve a life with Simo after that, to be honest with her. She doesn't even deserve to be treated in the way that Simo's treating her. But it's like she's kowtowing that line by apologising to this man left, right and centre to try and make him feel better, to try and make him feel important, to stop this conversation derailing, basically. So she then really apologises to him again. And I'm like, Hajar, no. She gets to the point like she's really begging him, and he's totally smirking while he stood there listening to her, because she played right into his hands, because that's what he wanted. And that's why Yasmin wouldn't fall to her knees for this man like that, because he's not a good person at all. So you see Dunya and Shafiq meet. I'd have to say it's the best first meet that I've ever watched of one of these. You could tell that they really do like each other. Shafiq ends up going to change quickly in the other room because he's sweated through his clothes, and then he ends up coming back with the ring and knelt down and give her the ring. Dunya's basically squealing and laughing all over the place. She filled me with so much joy because she's just like this innocent bundle of energy. But yeah, it was a good meet. So then the next day in the pods, you see Mido and Noor meet. And you could see that it's going to be a proposal. He read his words and it came out so deadpan, like there was no emotion behind it at all. But he did give it a gusto when he asked her to marry him, and she said yes. But technically, to me, she didn't really sound sure, but hey ho. So Simo is going to meet with Hajar again. He's basically trying to say that there was a misunderstanding with Hajar, and I thought, come and get my guy, misunderstanding. Is that what he wants to call it? Is that what he honestly wants to call it? Have he made her feel like absolute shit to the point that she begged an apology for him to forgive her? I was like, yeah, nah. Simo ain't the one, people. Simo ain't the one. He needs to go work on his toxic self and leave these women alone. That's all I'm going to say. So Hajar asked him if the past is the past. He didn't sound convincing when he said, yeah. So Hajar called him out. Do you want to talk about it or move on? And she said she made a bad joke and she apologised, which she did numerous times. So it's either he accepts it or doesn't, but quit making Hajar out to be a bad woman. Now, I didn't think I'd ever defend this woman, but I will defend her against that, because damn, that's all I can say. So this man is trying to gaslight her, but Hajar likes that he stopped her, like in the way in which to behave when she talked about cake. And she said it showed that Simo cared about her and marked her territory. I was like, what in the hell is that? Hajar can't be serious with that talk. I wouldn't want a man that bad to say that. Because I'm like, you're not a damn post or a cat or a dog that scents. What the freaking hell? Marked your territory doing what? Being toxic. Lord of mercy. Hajar is still trying to find favour with Simo. And at this point, I was like, girl, know your worth and let that toxic man go. But I knew that she wasn't going to. She's literally still trying to get a response out of him. He again then said, I didn't like what happened, to be fair. And I'm like, why does this man keep harping on trying to make her feel like she is the hard done, but she is the villain in all of this and he's the freaking victim? I'm not getting his, like, you know, end goal in this. Is it a case of he will never let it go? Because I'm not sure what more Hajar could do except sell her soul to this man. He's worse than Amar at this point, and that was saying something. So I'm sorry to say, Simo is my red flag number 3. Basically, he's trying to say that Hajar disrespected everything, and I'm just kind of like, it's the gaslighting for me. It really is the gaslighting for me. I really hope Hajar sees the light, because Simo is an arse, and it ends there with them two still in the room. So we don't know what the decision is until I watch the next episode. So I will conclude this right here, and I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. So all I ask at this moment in time is to please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button so you know when I do videos. Please comment, like, share and do all good things that you do, because I am still on the road to 1K. I will speak to you all again soon, my people. Peace out.